imagine being at home alone in the middle of nowhere, with only the silence of the countryside to keep you company. But then you hear a loud bang outside, and what happens next will leave your blood cold. This is how a normal night turned into a real-life nightmare. Would you have the courage to confront the unknown lurking in the shadows? I grew up in rural Michigan. There was almost nothing to do. This was the perfect place to be if you enjoyed staring at trees and crops and spending much time alone. I left when I had a car and enough money to move. I'm not against nature, but rather be near a big city. My parents no longer own that property, having sold it 5 years ago. It was a 3-acre property. The house was large and a storage building was out back. I was 13 when this happened. My parents frequently left me alone at that age. They trusted me because I matured early and had responsibilities on the property. It was the weekend, and I was playing Vice City on my PS2 in the living room when I heard a loud metallic bang from outside. I dashed to every window, looking outside to see if there was anything. I saw something when I reached the window of the storage building. The door was completely open. I grabbed the rifle from the closet and went outside, making my presence known by shouting, "Who's in there?" but received no response. When I got to the door, I said I had a gun and looked inside. There was a lot of stuff in there, from the sit-down mower to the quad and numerous small lawn care items. Someone could have been hiding behind any of those objects. Even as a child, I wasn't easily scared, but I felt very uneasy at that moment. I closed the door to the building and returned inside, locking it behind me. I then sat by the window for a long time, watching the storage building, expecting the door to open at any moment. That door was heavy and impossible to open on its own, so it had to have been opened by someone. I was curious to see if they were still inside. I decided to call my father and get his opinion. I entered the kitchen, picked up the landline phone, and dialed my father's cell number. He didn't answer, so I left a voicemail. This was before texting became popular, so you had to leave voicemails. After that, I returned to sitting by the window, but this time, I turned on a TV show in the background to break up the monotony. I took the phone with me. I was almost ready to give up when I heard creaks from upstairs. My heart was in my throat. I had to ask myself the big question: was I exaggerating my situation, or was someone present? I had a strong guard dog mentality. Even though I didn't love that place, I saw it as mine and my family's. I had to protect it. But I was in over my head. I picked up the rifle again and walked upstairs. I didn't call out because I didn't want any potential intruder to know I heard them. I reached the top of the stairs and turned on the hallway light. There were 5 closed doors to check. 4 led to bedrooms and 1 to the bathroom. Each door had a visible crack underneath. I heard the creak in the ceiling from the side of the house near my parents' bedroom, so I fell on my knees and looked under the door crack. I noticed 2 bare feet facing away from the door. My stomach tightened into a knot. The reality of the situation hit me hard, and I realized I wasn't ready to threaten, let alone shoot, someone. I quickly returned downstairs and hid in the bathroom to call my father again. He still did not pick up. I left another voicemail and called several times, but he never answered. He must have forgotten his phone somewhere. Finally, I called 911, which I should have done immediately, and I whispered into the phone, explaining what was happening. They told me to sit quietly in the bathroom. I heard footsteps descending the stairs. They approached the bathroom door, and it felt as if whoever was there knew I had gone straight to the restroom. The footsteps halted outside the door, and there was a brief pause before a deep voice said, "What's up, kid?" I recall that voice, and those words so vividly. If I heard that voice today, I would immediately recognize it. I almost cried because I was so scared. I ignored the operator's instructions and spoke. I stated loudly and clearly, "I'm on the phone with the police right now and I have a gun." I put the operator on speaker when she asked if everything was all right. The man attempted to open the door, but when he realized it was locked, I heard him leave. I listened as the footsteps faded, and a slammed door echoed throughout the house. It was a back door. I sighed in relief. From there, I waited for the police to arrive. It felt like £1,000,000 had been lifted from my shoulders when they did. After a thorough inspection of the house inside and out, confirming that the man had left, the police asked if there was anywhere else I could spend the night. I said yes, at my uncle's house. We contacted my uncle, who came and spoke with the police before returning me to his home. The fact that it was entirely my fault haunts me the most. I could have prevented this. I went to the storage building to investigate and left the door unlocked. That's when the man must have walked straight into the house. Even with a rifle in my hands, I did not feel safe. It was the most terrifying experience of my life. The scariest moments aren't always what we see, but how we feel when it's too late to change anything. How would you have handled that situation? Please let me know in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more chilling stories like this. Be safe, because you never know what's out there.